Good morning. This is the second in a series of videos that I'll be producing for those of you in teacher education. You'll remember that about a month ago I spoke to you about our Open Educational Resources initiative. We got some interesting and good feedback, so hopefully this will be a practice that will be useful for you as students to connect with us and with me as the chair. We're into another semester, 4 weeks in, and hopefully your courses are going well and you're settling into the swing of things. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about dispositions, something that's very important within teacher education, but a factor that many of our candidates often forget about. When you come into the teacher education program, your assessment throughout the program looks at two specific areas. Firstly, and most obviously, your ability to pass your classes, how well you do on your assignments, what sort of academic student you are, and the grades that you get in taking those classes with us. And as all universities, we track those records on your transcript, and we have minimum standards for teacher education that you need to be able to meet. Every candidate needs to be able to keep their grade point average above a 2.75, for example, in terms of their cumulative courses that they've taken. But often candidates forget that the second area that we really emphasize and keep track of is candidate dispositions. The candidate disposition really is a characteristic. It's the sort of skill set that we're looking for in our candidates in order for them to be successful teachers. There are 5 key areas that we look specifically at. The first one is respect for diversity. Does the candidate understand that students are very different and that we need to meet all of their needs? The second one is a reflection on and a pursuit of continuing professional development. As teachers, we need to be lifelong learners. We need to continually grow and challenge ourselves to be the best we can be, and so we require our candidates to really look at that professional development and for them to continually grow through it. The third one is really professionalism. It's about appropriate communication, it's about building good relationships, and it's about appearance. And we really look to our candidates to demonstrate to us that they have the maturity and the understanding that the role that they play as a role model for our students is really important. And so how they come across matters. The fourth one is the ethical use of technology. Can our candidates use technology? Do they understand it? How comfortable are they with it? And do they understand the rules that go along with that? Those rules are split into 2 particular sections. Firstly, for yourself as a candidate, but then also for the students that you're in charge of and taking care of. And then the last disposition is the ability to appropriately implement the pedagogy that you learn about in your classes. Do you have the ability to take what it is that we're learning from our texts and from best practices and really turn that into an understanding and a practical application in your classrooms? So as you move through teacher education, we keep track of dispositions, and they become significantly important the closer you get to student teaching. You should know that any candidate who has multiple concerns with their dispositions is often not allowed to go out on student teaching until they can demonstrate that they've mastered that particular area. Anybody that you interact with here at the university within teacher education has the ability to fill out disposition forms. So whether that's a brief phone call or email exchange with your advisor, whether that's somebody in the office, or most oftenly the instructors that you've had in your classrooms. They have the ability to highlight students who have great dispositions, who are showing real positive growth, and then also to highlight those students who might want to think about working on a particular area of disposition. I'm sure you can imagine it's that number 3 disposition, how well we communicate, how well we build relationships, how well we speak to people, the tone that we take when we send our emails, etc., etc. That's the one that often trips people up. So take a little bit of time to look through the dispositions on the website. You can find them in the usual places. Feel free to talk to your instructors, and when you go into TK20 next time, take a look and see what your dispositions look like. Makes a huge difference. When we put teachers in a classroom of students, it's not just their ability to be able to learn themselves that they need to be able to master. They really need to be role models, and so as such, we place a huge emphasis on the characteristics, the professional standards that we expect our candidates to meet. I'll speak to you again soon.